Hi everyone, happy Valentine's Day. Today I wanted to talk to you about self-love. Now, I have no doubt you know how important loving and respecting yourself is. We often hear that it's important to love ourselves before we can truly love anyone else or before we can let anyone else love us. But how exactly do we go about learning to develop self-love and self-respect? And so today I want to give 2 tips to you on how you can start on a journey of just showing yourself greater self-love, respect and compassion. So I'm Kirsti Gwynn, I'm the founder and coach of PositiveEQ, and I'm also the host of the Genuinely Happy Facebook group, which you can join in the link that I'll post above this video after I'm done. So getting back to the topic of self-love, a lot of people have a bit of resistance when it comes to self-love, and maybe you feel that if you were to love yourself, you would become arrogant and you would lose your sense of humility. You wouldn't be able to kind of see your flaws or see areas that you need to improve. If you're like me, it's really important to you to actually be able to be open with yourself about where you need to improve on something, or when you've done something wrong, to be able to acknowledge it and not to be arrogant, essentially. But real self-love is grounded, and it's not about giving up, your humility. It's really about self-esteem. And so today, I just want to talk about the 2 most basic things that you can do to show self-love, and you'll see that they're really nothing to do with arrogance at all, but rather just responding to yourself authentically in the way you would respond to others. So 2 of the most basic ways that we show love to the people that we love is, let's start with the first one at a time. The first one is that when something good happens for them, we're happy for them and we celebrate it. So if you have a friend or a partner that comes to you and tells you something great that's happened in their life, you're going to be happy for them, you're going to celebrate them. And similarly, if you go and tell someone that you love that something great has happened, they're probably going to say, let's go out and celebrate, or they're just going to say, I'm so happy for you. They're essentially going to celebrate you for however long it is. They're going to share in your joy and acknowledge it and know that it's a great thing and let you know that they think that. But when it comes to ourselves, often when something goes well for us, we achieve something, we feel like it's still not good enough. We set the bar so high that it's almost impossible for us to reach our own standards. And we just evaluate ourselves according to this kind of perfectionistic standard that's never good enough. And so when we do something well, even if we do feel like we've achieved something, it's tempting to just move on and set the next goal, right? And to skip over whatever we've achieved. And so the first way of just showing yourself some self-love today is just to look back over this day today, or the last week, or even the last month, and say to yourself, what have I done well? You might even consider looking over 2017 and say, what did I do well last year? And again, this is not about arrogance, it's just about honestly acknowledging what you accomplished. And you can absolutely do that with humility. So just looking back and saying, hey, last year I actually grew in the following ways. I did my job really well. I was a friend who was there for my friends, things like that. These can be small things or they can be big things. But just to actually give yourself a pat on the back, acknowledge what is true and right. That's different from saying, I'm the best person in the world and I'm better than anyone else, right? There's a very big difference between saying that and saying, hey, the truth is that I did this well. And then just celebrate yourself in the way that you would celebrate someone that you love's success. So whether it's saying, okay, I'm going to actually cook myself my favorite dinner tonight, or get my favorite takeout. I'm going to watch my favorite series to kind of congratulate myself. You can do kind of anything that you enjoy, and to just revel in that moment a little bit and let yourself enjoy the success, because often you've worked so hard to get there, right? And maybe you've even beaten yourself up about not getting there quick enough, and then when you get there, you don't enjoy it nearly as much as we think that we would have. Give yourself that chance. That's just one of the basic things that you would give to other people that you love. And the second thing is that we are often so much more self-critical towards ourselves than we are ever critical of others. We generally speak to ourselves when things go wrong in ways that we would never speak to people that we love. You might call yourself names, you might just kind of generally talk yourself down, you might tell yourself that what you've done is not good enough. Whatever your language is that you're using towards yourself, make sure that it is only language that you would be comfortable using with people that you loved. In fact, when things go wrong for us, what we need in that moment is love and compassion. And if you went to a friend, that's what they would probably give you. 99% of the time when you go to someone and you're vulnerable and you're saying, I'm hurting, I got rejected, I failed at something, what they're going to do is make you feel better. But then what we often do to ourselves is in that same moment when we're vulnerable, when we most need to be loved and accepted, we reject ourselves. And so that's one of the most powerful steps, is what would a friend say to you? And what would you say to a friend? And kind of your boundary of how you want to be treating yourself is at least as good as you treat other people. That's really how I evaluate everything. And I always know that I'm being too harsh on myself if I would look at someone else and I would think, that's perfectly okay that they made that mistake, so why is it not okay for me to make that mistake? This is just the basics of self-love. You can still acknowledge that it's a mistake, right? If you went to a friend and you had messed up something at work, like you made a genuine error, or you didn't follow through on something that you promised to follow through on. So let's say that something you actually have really done something wrong, right? Not just general self-criticism, but self-criticism on top of something that you've actually made a mistake. If you went to a friend wouldn't say, oh, you didn't make a mistake, you didn't follow through, it's totally fine, that's okay to do that at work. No, most friends will make you feel better about the fact that you're dealing with the repercussions of that, but they're not going to lie to you about the fact that that was a problem. So you can say to yourself, I made a mistake. But really, you can also look at yourself and say, okay, I made a mistake, but I'm going to react with compassion. I'm going to say, it's okay. And what counts is how I deal with it now and how I remedy it. And I'm human. The same way that you would say it to a friend. So this Valentine's Day, I hope that you're able to show yourself some self-love now and over the course of the whole year and going forward. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, you're welcome to join us in the Facebook group. I'm going to put the link above. And you're also able to get a copy of 6 Keys to Inner Peace. I'll put that link above too. That's on the website PositiveEQ.com. So I hope to see you soon. Thank you.